guys. Remember I said I was going to come back and do something with that second leek. And you know, my eyeballs have done what they can do for the day. So we're going to work on this on dinner. I have some little teeny weeny potatoes roasting in the oven. And I'm going to add to that, so the oven's on at 425, and I'm going to add to that the fish with some leeks and some mushrooms. But before I put the fish in the oven, so I have the fish in this little thing, okay? And you know, you can do this in like a cast iron skillet and do all the sauteing and then put the fish on top of it and then stick it in the oven together. I just, you know, I've been spending a lot of time dealing with my cast iron skillets, so I'm gonna take a break from that for a little while. What I'm going to do is it's going to be a similar start process. Hey, honey. As before, I have 3 tablespoons of butter, which I'm going to put in the skillet. Oh shoot! See, I put on my cozy clothes too. I have 3 tablespoons of butter, and then this is the other leek that is, you know, been sitting in that little tiny colander. I also have some mushrooms. I have some oyster mushrooms and some baby shiitake mushrooms. They were about this size, and I just cut them in. I cut the stems off and then cut the caps in thirds. And I just used half of that package. The oyster mushrooms, I used all of it because the oyster mushrooms seem to lose a lot more volume, and there's a lot more kind of stem that I cut off. So anyway, that's what I did. You know, it ends up being about the same volume of each, you know? So as soon as this butter kind of starts doing its thing, we'll throw in the mushrooms and the leeks. And I'm just having a moment. Do I want to do... I don't think it really matters which one is first, but one of the things that you can do is, I'm thinking about it because the leeks are going to exude a little more liquid. The mushrooms are going to exude liquid too. And so I think I'll just do them at the same time. I don't think there's any virtue in making it. But one thing I was considering doing, and I might do, in fact, I'm going to add another tablespoon of butter. Sorry, like as I said, my brain has been working overtime today, and so have my eyes. I'm going to make sort of like, I'm going to let this butter sit a little bit longer and make a little bit more of a brown butter, just to kind of punch up the flavor a little bit. The other things we are going to do, oh goodness, is we're going to add, I'm going to put some capers in, and we're going to add some other herbs, and I haven't really decided which ones, because I have some tarragon, I have some thyme, and some rosemary and some sage, and I think, you know, a lot of times you should just add whatever sounds good to you at the moment. I really like tarragon with mushrooms. All right, there we go. See, the butter kind of, you know, I don't know if you've ever read in a recipe, it'll say wait until the foam subsides. And right now, what it's doing is it's doing its like poppy, bubbly thing. See, the foam has not subsided. And I'm just waiting to get this a little browner, because once you put the leeks and the mushrooms in there, the water from the leeks and the mushrooms will keep it from browning. So the brown butter has to be kind of made before you put the other things in. Okay? You know, this is just sort of a very general way to do this. I'm going to put the potatoes need to cook for like a good 45 minutes to an hour to get them good and like crispy, crunchy, which is what you want in like a contrast to this nice soft sauce. You could also do crusty bread. I'm going to do some green beans, I think, too. Sorry, I'm just sort of babbling while we're waiting for this brown butter to brown. As you can see, oh, there's the cat. That's Misty. She's hanging out. She's waiting for me to give her dinner because it's getting dark, and so she knows what that means. But, you know, part of the reason it's getting dark is that we're expecting another snowstorm tonight, which is... Anyway, you can see also I did not unpack all of my groceries yet. There's still some of them in that bag. So you see, it might be hard to see, but there's some little brown bits starting to form in the bottom here, and brown butter turns very fast, which is why I'm just sitting here talking and watching it, because you don't want it to get burned, okay? See how it's starting to get kind of like that? It's really quick. It's like toasting nuts. Okay, I'm gonna put the mushrooms in there. I don't know if that's ever happened to you before. You're toasting nuts and then you're all of a sudden like, oh my God. I'm gonna put the leeks in there. I'm gonna get a good, maybe this spoon. There we go. And you know, why are we making brown butter? Well, it just kind of toasts a little bit. It's just like toasting bread, right? I mean, it's a little better with toast. I'm gonna put a half a teaspoon of salt on these things, and they're gonna cook down a little bit. So the other thing to think about is you want to salt and pepper your fish. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And so, right, so the oven's on, it's 425. The fish is gonna cook, I mean, for like 10 to 15 minutes, okay? If it's frozen, cook it for like 15 to 20, okay? But fish, even from frozen, cooks pretty quickly, okay? So you really, that just, you know, even with all this stuff, and because it's going to make such a nice kind of soft, liquidy sauce, you know, we're gonna leave it uncovered, okay? I'm just gonna sit here. It's like, I mean, in some ways, sometimes I'm like, this is one of the reasons I don't do some of these things on videos with you, because I'm just like, la la la, waiting for the paint to dry. All right, I'll put some pepper on the fish. And I'm gonna put some pepper in here too, might as well. Not gonna do anything. A fair amount of pepper. And so you see it's starting to break down a little bit. And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect because it is going in the oven. You know, it doesn't have to be all the way. Now this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some tarragon. Remember, tarragon's kind of weedy, right? And you just strip it down off the stems. And I'll do that while that's cooking. Sometimes. One time, you know, you want French tarragon, and one time they sold me Russian tarragon, which is not quite the same. I don't even think it's the same species. But you know, that was during the pandemic when everything was kind of, I mean, I shouldn't say during the pandemic. We are still having a pandemic, even if we're tired of it. Okay. I think that's enough. Let's just get this little pile here, and I'm going to chop that up and throw that in with those guys. And then, I mean, this is kind of, we're running out of things to do. You know, it's going to be this, then I'm going to add some capers, and then we're going to pour all this over our fish, stick it in the oven. And I'm going to go sit down and have a cocktail and check my email one last time before giving up the ghost for the evening on business. Okay, I didn't do a super wonderful job on that, but that's okay. Okay, see that? It's really nice. And thank goodness, I have a new jar of capers, and I was about to have a moment. Let's get out. Let's do like a tablespoon of capers, okay, you guys? I'm trying to, you know, usually I'm using like my olive spoon, but I didn't remember to get that. Just try to not get a ton of liquid in there. Oh, you know what I forgot? I'm always like, oh, I forgot. I mean, I have ADHD. Okay, look. Half a cup of wine again. Okay, white wine. And we're gonna kind of stir all that up together and bring that all back up to a boil. And when that's done its thing. See, one of the things I don't love about these silicone spatulas is they're very sticky. Everything sticks to them. So like all my tarragon is stuck to the back of that spoon because I put it on top of it. I'm just gonna simmer that down. And you know, it doesn't need to reduce. In fact, I don't want it to reduce all the way. I want to have a nice saucy sauce in there so that it doesn't dry out the fish to be uncovered, right? But if we cover it up, and a lot of times I do that, I'll cover up the fish and we'll do like we've done together in the foil packets. That's really nice. But today I'm not going to do that because I have enough stuff in here. And here, look, we'll just go ahead and do it. I think that's perfect. I'm going to pour all this over and then I'm going to show you. And then we'll talk about what's going to happen next, and then we'll go, okay? So I am just getting all of these leeks out, because remember, the leeks are sticky. Everything's sticky. The dog apparently wants some water. He's very subtle. So see, the fish is totally covered, right? And I'm going to put that in the oven, along with the potatoes that are already in there. And the potatoes have like 1 more minute on the rotation, and you just kind of like push them around and expose a different side to the air in the pan, okay? And then that's gonna go in, and the fish is gonna cook for like 15 minutes, like that. But I might even wait on it because I need 2 more cycles of my potatoes. Anyway, just do your math that makes sense to you, and have a great night. Bye.